Beehive Sports Podcast is powered by Swing Juice. Visit swingjuice.com. Load up your cart. Golf's right around the corner. Use promo code Beehive20. 20% off your order. Support the podcast. Shop Swing Juice. Support the podcast. Episode 45. That's a lot of episodes. We're doing all right. Trucking along. Plowing ahead. Today's episode, we have... What do we have? Reactions from the divisional round. I'm breaking my silence on the Bills season coming to an end. Then we got a little bit of, Big Ben's retirement. We're going to talk a little bit about the Baseball Hall of Fame. Sports history, we'll have 5 fast facts to throw at you. In things that sting, Raiders' Nate Hobbs makes his second appearance with some good news and some bad news. And then Antonio Brown, who's just like a regular guest at this point.
Yeah.
Tua. We got a little bit of Tua not going to work here anymore, so it doesn't matter. Office Space, you follow me?
Yeah, yep. I like it.
Not my joke, I stole it.
That's good.
A little bit of talk about Bitcoin contracts and the ups and downs of how that can go. And in my hive, we're down to the final 4 for the fan rant. Sadly, I'm not a part of it. And we're including the 3-bagger in the show tonight. So we'll have fan rant, immediately 3-bagger, and then we're done for the week. Let's go.
Welcome to the Beehive Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Joe and Sketty.
As always, this week's opening segment brought to you by Napoli's. Hungry watching the game? Call Napoli's at 814-723-7455. Open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Located in North Warren. Pickup or delivery available. Speaking of Napoli's, they were gracious enough They wanted to put on a little promotion for the Super Bowl as the football season winds down. Basically, I think everybody who is a regular listener that I know of is aware of it. The post is pinned at the top of the Facebook page. So if you haven't been on there, go check it out. You make a prediction from this weekend. Which 2 teams will make the big game? And you will be entered into a contest. If the 2 teams you pick win this weekend, you'll be entered into a contest. Next weekend, we're going to draw it live on the show. I think we're going to do that right like now. Like a week from this moment, we will be doing the drawing. So I'm going to put everybody's name in a hat, draw them right on camera. So the people who pick correctly this weekend will be entered. Winner gets 2 large pizzas, 20 wings, and a 6-pack for their Super Bowl party. So that's a pretty good deal. Shout out Stefano Clemente for hooking it up. You know, we appreciate that. So, and it's really bumped up our page likes, which is cool too.
Yeah, and I'm going to give you the winners at the end of this episode. You stick around for 3-bagger. I'll tell you who you should pick, and you'll be in the drawing.
So you can go back and delete your current picks on the post. If you already picked, go back, delete it, and try again.
Yep.
But I have to make sure that post is like shut down at kickoff Sunday, 3:00, right?
Yeah, yep.
So you have till 3:00 Sunday to put your picks in. I have to make sure I pay attention because somebody might get sly on us and, slide one in Sunday night that we don't see, and then they're in the drawing because they already know who won the game. So,
yep. I was wondering if you could disable comments, or if when you disable comments, it'll erase everyone's comments. So it might be a little risky.
Yeah, I just don't want to touch it until Sunday. But I think Sunday is what I'll do is I'll write them all down that day. So that way we have them all. They're in order. Sunday night, I should say. That way we have them all and everybody we know. And then we'll be able to go on to next week's show with the drawing to start it off, giving away 2 pies, 20 wings, which 20 wings alone is worth the price of admission.
Big value
to comment on this post, because wings are like, $150 a dozen right now.
You could probably sell the giveaway and get Super Bowl tickets.
That's a good point.
Close.
Oh, we got 20 wings is like $500. That's what I'm saying, Kyle. Yeah, that's why I'm surprised that Napoli's was so eager to do this, because they're literally just giving away, somebody's salary for the week or something. I don't know. But so I'm back in the Beehive. No fake backgrounds. No, this is real background now. I'm not in the hotel with the grand piano or standing in front of the Revolutionary War as it happened.
Yep.
I'm not standing in front of the Bill Stampede coming out of the tunnel.
Just back in the Hive.
Just back live from the Hive. Darren is glad that we got the emergency press conference.
Stay tuned, Darren. There might be another one coming on Sunday night.
I'm not watching the game with you this Sunday.
I don't blame you.
I needed
you put up through that.
Yeah, between that Saturday night and then the Bills lost Sunday night, like my heart is, I had to go to the doctor.
Get that blood pressure medicine.
I need baby aspirin. That's what somebody told me to take. Was that you?
I told you that. Yeah, said baby aspirin.
See, I had so many people concerned about my health this past weekend that I didn't even I couldn't keep up with like who was who.
Like 18 Busch Lights will do it too.
I did have a lot of Busch Lights. Started early. Had to.
Yeah. Yep.
I said this last weekend. I'll say it again. My heart is just not built for playoff football. Like I was so just, from the time I was 18. Well, let's see. The Bills made the playoffs in 2017 for the first time in my adult life. And I was, what was that, 5 years ago? So I was 32.
Yeah.
And and I mean, now they've had some experience since then, 5, 6 games anyways. And it just doesn't get any easier. But I was just so used to
this week's game. Yeah, there's no one was ready for that, but fans weren't ready for that.
Yeah, I just can't. I mean, honestly, I love that they're good, but if they ever slip back into like just mediocrity for another 20 years, it'll probably like assist with the longevity of my existence.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. We'll see, what happens. But all right, let's get rolling here. We have NFL divisional round reactions. We're just going to go through them as they happened. So I think everybody was in agreement. Most people. I saw somebody who said no, they disagreed. But probably one of the best weekends of football that I can remember. Every game was fantastic. There was no, one-sided, boring games. I mean, even the Rams had a huge lead and tried to blow it.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna. Thank God.
Yeah, we'll get
Bucks pass defense is garbage.
We'll get to that one. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So starting off, Bengals Titans, late field goal off of a Tannehill pick. Which last week I told you when I was picking this game what was my reasoning, because I like to take quarterbacks. And, of course, I took that strategy in Green Bay, San Francisco. It didn't pay off. But Tannehill is just not Tannehill's not good.
Yeah. Three picks is bad.
3 picks.
God bless him for saves Jimmy from the lowest QBR of the weekend.
They sacked Burrow 9 times and still lost that game.
Lost. Yeah, it's insane.
I'd like to see the number on that ever happening. Like that amount of sacks in one game and you still end up losing. So the late pick from Tannehill, quote of the weekend. I think Pardon My Take calls him football guy quotes when stuff like this happens.
Yeah.
McPherson takes a warm-up kick on the sidelines, looks at the placeholder and says, well, looks like we're going to the AFC Championship, and just goes out there and hammers one.
Love it. Absolutely love the confidence in that team. They got that swag. I like the Bengals.
I do too. Yeah, they're a young, energized team. It is fun to watch. It's kind of becoming, if you look at what's left in the NFC or the AFC with disregard the Titans, but it was just three high-powered offenses. Of course, the Bills had this mystery, number one ranked defense who I don't know where they went, but we'll get to that. But
we'll get there.
It's just high-powered offenses that were left, young, high-powered offenses, and it's kind of fun. I mean, that was a low-scoring game, of course, but when Joe Burrow's throwing from his back for the majority of the game,
348 he still threw for, though, which shocked me. I looked that up. 350 yards almost and gets sacked 9 times.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible that they pulled that out. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the other big thing for me was holding Derrick Henry in check. I mean, 20 for 66 yards, against a beat-up Bengals line.
Derrick Henry was not himself.
Yeah.
And there was a play. Let me think. Where was I watching this game? Saturday. Was I at the Elks? I was at the Elks Club. So I'm watching this at the Elks with Cody Bupp, and we watched one of the plays early in the game. Henry got stood up at the line, but he kind of turned his back to the defender who was coming after him. And when the defender ended up getting him wrapped up, you could see like a wincing on Henry's face, where you could tell he grabbed around that tender spot and that it still hurt. Yep. And you could see that. And I remember, because me and Bupp looked at each other, we were like, ooh, like somebody's still a little bit banged up and just trying to play because it's the playoffs, which I get. But yeah, they did a really nice job containing him. I think I didn't look, but from my memory, he only had like one real nice run. And also, since Foreman changed his hairstyle, he looks like a tinier version of Derrick Henry.
He does, but he played. I mean, he had 4 for 66.
Yeah, he was the one who broke. Yeah, he's the one who had the big gains after it was all.
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Timmy, for the reminder. Timmy was with me as well when we were watching that game. I didn't forget about you, Timmy. Oh, here we go. We got some stats coming in. Hunter McNabb is the only other QB to get sacked 8+ times and win the game. That doesn't surprise me that it hasn't happened very often, because those are game changing, especially when you get up to that number. So yeah, Bengals move on, unfortunately, to play the Chiefs, but we'll get to that game last. Sketty, you ready for some Bang Bang Niner gang talk?
I am ready for some Bang Bang Niner gang time. I'll tell you, in all honesty, full disclosure, I had to watch the 15-minute breakdown of the game so I could remember it a little bit better. I might have been a couple bush lights.
That happens.
Couple bush lights, but man, dominant performance from the defense and the special teams. That was the difference. I think we talked about it on the podcast last week. Packers special teams had trouble all year long, and the Niners took advantage of it. Block field goal, block punt for the touchdown. 5 sacks. You asked the question, Devontae Adams, who's going to stop him? Well, it didn't really matter, because Adams and Aaron Jones had 18 of Rodgers' 20 completed passes between the two of them. There was one pass to Lazard for 6 yards, and then the one pass to Lewis where he fumbled. Now, he just totally dominated this game from a defensive standpoint. Offensively, wasn't as bad as what the stats show. A couple times in the red zone there, 3 times, 2 killer penalties inside the 5-yard line. Trent Williams hold, Elijah Mitchell had the face mask, and then Jimmy throws the just god-awful Jimmy pick that has to show up once a game.
Somebody needs to teach Jimmy how to throw a screen pass.
Or just throw it away. Like, you're outside the pocket.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one, too. Yeah, now that you say that,
yeah, just throw it out of bounds,
Yeah, he was trying to do too much on that one play. I remember that now.
Well, which honestly, he probably had Kittle for the touchdown if he would have thrown it like a second earlier and had, like, a good arm. If he was maybe any of the other quarterbacks playing this weekend, he probably hits Kittle for a touchdown there.
Fair. I think I said that to you, actually. I said Allen makes that throw.
You did. Oh, Allen would have made that throw. Mahomes would have made that throw. Burrow would have made that throw. Ryan Tannehill might have made that throw.
Let's not get carried away.
But no, I was, looking back on it, I'm pretty happy with the win. I almost threw up multiple times. It was a crazy game.
And then you gave an emergency press conference.
Emergency press conference. The people asked for it. What was I supposed to do? Tell them no?
That's a good point. Yeah, Pelly texted both of us and said, "Sketty, emergency press conference now."
Yeah,
like, all right.
Yeah, I wasn't just coming on to gloat. Yeah, and then I actually went live.
Well, you definitely were. You definitely were just going on to gloat.
Well, maybe a little. Maybe a little.
No, you definitely were. Yeah, not a little. Like 100%. 100% people wanted to see you gloat. Yes.
They did. Well, hopefully we get to do it one more time this week.
And then you drank beer and hung out with our boy Ron King on his show for till fucking 2 a.m.
I did, yes. I was pretty tuned in. He was drinking some beers. Yeah, that was a good time. Yeah. Rodgers, I feel bad for the guy. But I just can't get it done. That was probably the most shocking thing to me was the lack of Packers offense, especially after they marched it down and just, looked like they were going to be a problem all day on that first drive. He
took a beating on the internet for that.
Yeah.
To just the playoff Rodgers numbers record, all of it. It's not great.
Oh, agreed. Yeah. I mean, this is the first time I think he's really let the team down. If you look at the other games, a lot of it's been the defense has kind of let him down, which even then, it was still the special teams this week. He scored enough points for them to win that game. Special teams just cost them.
Special teams did cost them. Yeah,
Yep. I mean, 5 sacks. That's what happens.
You guys definitely had a few beers, Ron. I watched. You were taking breaks. You were actually getting up away from the show and then coming back. You're leaving a blank screen just go get beers and come back. It was pretty funny, though. I enjoyed it.
Live TV, bud.
So, I was truly, truly hoping for this matchup, and it is now in existence. Let's move on to the Rams-Bucks. Rams win 30-27, late field goal. They were outscored 24. They almost pulled a Week 18 like they did with the Niners.
Well, I'll tell you what. I got a text from Moon when it went to 27-3, and he said, the road to SoFi runs through SoFi, and then the miracle started happening, and I had so much shit I was ready to talk.
California was texting me, and his butthole was puckering too, for sure.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, that was just what a horrible second half performance from that Rams team. I just absolutely horrible. And
they definitely let off the gas. I mean, I don't understand what the strategy is there, but yeah, I mean, 20-3 at halftime, and then they end up getting outscored 24-10. Which at one point the Bucks come back, tie it up 27-27, which I really couldn't believe that happened. When it got to 27-20, I was still pretty confident that I was like, all right, they need a couple first downs and it's over. And I think they turned the ball over or whatever they did.
Yep.
But so then Cooper Kupp takes over the final drive. They put the ball in, their best receiver's hands. Guy's been doing it all fucking year. It's not a surprise that he did it again, but maybe the second catch might have been a little bit of a surprise. The fact that he got, all the way to
wide open.
Yeah.
And the Bucks pass D has been bad all year. I think it was bad last year, and they just kind of got away with some holding in the playoffs, and that helped tighten it up. But it got exposed. It got exposed that last drive. Tom Brady has to be ready to kill people.
I think Brady's ready to retire.
I think he's going to come back now, losing like that. You got to remember, this was a game he could have won. He's missing, Antonio Brown. He's missing Chris Godwin.
Yeah, Godwin's a free agent too, though, so he might be missing him all next year.
Well, that's true. That's true. And Tristan Wirfs was banged up, which to me was the big thing in the first half. Their offensive line just got absolutely owned by that Rams front. You could tell they really missed him. I think the backup was even hurt by the end of the game, kind of limping around.
Yeah. Well, and even if Wirfs in, I'm not saying that he's obviously the starter, but trying to stop Aaron Donald is that's a fucking task. That's difficult.
It
is difficult to do. So, all right, I guess it's time, isn't it?
I've been waiting for this because I've got nothing out of you. I've got nothing out of you.
Tell the world. Tell the world what happened since that game. How much have we talked?
Like hardly none at all. Like I've sent you some Niner stuff. I've had some good Bills memes, and I'm like, I don't know about your mental state, so I'm not going to send them to you. Like the one, like, what more could Josh Allen have done? And it's like he could have called heads, and that's it.
Yeah, like, I did see that one. I haven't been like not on the internet or anything. Like I'm seeing stuff. I'm just keeping quiet about most of it, except for Hunter's post yesterday, where Keenan Allen, of all people, who's played in 4 playoff games his entire life, talking about defense winning championships, like he fucking knows what he's talking about. First of all, and second,
they never had a defense. That's why he's won nothing.
Right? Yeah, I don't. So he's just explaining why the Chargers are bad every year. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the heartbreaker. I mean, I'm going to start off by saying this though. What a show that was.
Yep.
I mean, Allen and Mahomes went out there and showed the world exactly why they're the top 2 young quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Both of them played outstanding. And to me, and I saw a lot of people saying this too, and I mean, I obviously this can't be realistic, the thought of it, but it's a shame somebody had to lose that game. Like, it really is that one of those teams has to go home. It's too bad. Yep. Allen just played phenomenal on, the biggest stage, I mean, that's the biggest game of his career, even though last year AFC Championship, each time they're in these playoff games, that's the next biggest game of their life. And Allen just was ridiculous. I think it was like the highest QB rating to lose a playoff game in the history of the NFL. Gabe Davis, which Gabe Davis thing is kind of funny to me because I watch every Bills game. I know what Gabe Davis can do. A lot. He's a fucking good young receiver.
Heck of a player.
Yeah, he is. And what's funny is when he was drafted, they drafted 2 receivers. This is his second year in the league. So he was drafted, what would that be? The 2020 draft. So he was taken after Isaiah Hodgins. Isaiah Hodgins had been on the practice squad, but he was projected to be better than Gabe Davis. And Gabe Davis has just come out of nowhere, including last year when he was a rookie. And, I mean, quietly had, I think it was like 600 some yards last year, 7 or 8 touchdowns. He's a great red zone target because he's so fucking tall.
Yep.
And it's not so, it was really not like a shocker to me, but I had a lot of people texting me who were like, Gabe Davis, like, who the hell is Gabe Davis? And I'm like, I've been watching the kid since he started in Buffalo, this being his second year. And the fact that he was able to have a game like that didn't surprise me one bit. But now down to the 13 seconds. I mean, a lot of chatter about the 13 seconds. One thing that the 13 seconds has taught me is that nobody knows what a prevent defense is at all, because that was what everybody. Oh, you're getting a prevent. They weren't in a prevent. And the squib kick was the other big thing that everybody was saying. The squib kick. So what a lot of people aren't factoring in with a squib kick is in the NFL, they have a rule where if you give yourself up, you're down immediately. So all a player has to do is fall on that ball. They had their hands team up front for this return, which a lot of people didn't know that either. But the hands team was up front. They had Tyreek Hill deep. They put him into return kicks like halfway through the game. So anytime Tyreek Hill gets the ball, obviously it's a concern because I don't even know how cameras keep up with that fucking guy because he just flies. I mean, and the way he can cut is stupid. I don't like him, but he's really good at football.
Yeah.
He's real fast. So anyways, the squib kick wasn't necessarily like the answer that would have won them that game. They could have as soon as it gets kicked, if a guy fields it and falls on it, you might get 1 second off the clock, maybe. And with that said, if it hits a guy in the second or third tier, they're 15, 20 yards ahead of the 25 that you're guaranteed if you kick it out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I think the other thing, too, is you don't know that squib kick bounces out of bounds. No time comes off.
And that's another thing, too. And they have the ball at the 45. So there's just a lot of factors in that. But I was kind of getting a kick out of people, like, just saying that why didn't they do that? If they would have done that, they would have won.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. I saw another suggestion that I thought was funny in my quiet approach to the internet this week, where there was a meme that was like, breaking, the NFL has canceled the Super Bowl and they will just make it a best out of 7 between the Chiefs and the Bills.
Yep.
I would take that, honestly. So now, and here's the thing too, is like last week, that's what I preached in the fan rant. I said defense. Defense was what I thought, where I thought the Bills had the advantage here. And clearly they didn't. I mean, maybe statistically, maybe they did because they were ranked. I mean, they did have a good year. But, I mean, the Chiefs defense was what everybody was saying too, was, well, they've been playing a lot better lately. No defense played well in this game.
Both defenses were equally bad. No matter what you want to say, the Bills lost. They were equally bad because the Chiefs defense didn't have to go on the field one more time. That's right. The only thing that's giving them a step.
And that's what we're going to get. Go ahead.
I just want to say, again, everyone's talking about this is the greatest playoff game they've ever seen, and it was one of the most entertaining playoff games I've ever seen. But 47 points were scored in the first 58 minutes of this game. 47. 31 points were scored in the last 2 minutes and however long the overtime drive took. Defense just stopped playing, like 2 minutes to go. I mean, Gabe Davis was wide open on both of those touchdown passes. Tyreek Hill burns by him. It was just the defense got completely exposed. I don't like that. I don't like that for either team.
Yeah. But, so the OT rules too is what everybody started talking about, and that was what I saw. Like the minute I got on Facebook after the game and started scrolling, that was all I saw from not just Bills fans though. I mean, it was from everybody.
Yeah.
And what's funny too is that Bills naysayers, they're around, and they were all like, "Oh, you're blaming OT, you're blaming OT." The Chiefs petitioned the league in 2019 to change the overtime rules because they lost under the same set of circumstances.
And it was not quite as entertaining, but absolutely the same thing, where neither defense could get a stop. Whatever team won that coin toss was going to win the game.
So speaking of the coin toss, this was a stat that I saw. I think it was NFL on Fox shared it. Under the current overtime rules, the team that won the toss is 10-1. Yep. Against the team, obviously, the team who loses that coin toss has won one time. That one game was Rams-Saints, the pass interference game.
And the pass interference call, yep.
Which, if that pass interference call doesn't happen, as it
should have, yep.
Right, should have. You're possibly looking at 11-0 for that number.
Yeah. I mean, I really hope that this is what this is the wake up call that the league needs to change this rule, because I think I've said it months ago on here. It's the worst rule in sports.
That's what I forgot to do. Actually, I was gonna pull that audio clip and I forgot, because there's an episode on our page or on Spotify or wherever they're all uploaded at, and I can't remember what number it is, but it was a while ago, and it was when. I talked about college versus NFL and rule comparisons and how the NFL, I've said this a million times, the NFL is far too proud to adopt anything, to admit that college football has something right and they don't. If they weren't too proud, they'd adopt targeting for one. And of course, targeting was slightly abused this year, which it was the first year I really saw him throwing it, on almost everything. Right. But the thing is about targeting is it's reviewable. So if the refs get it wrong, pick up the flag, carry on with the game. Whereas in the NFL, if there's a helmet-to-helmet hit or not, and it looks like one, and the ref thinks it looks like one, it's 15 yards no matter what, an automatic first down. The NFL just will not admit that college football has shit right, and that pertains to overtime as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anyone out there that can look you in the face, straight in the eyes, and say, if the Bills won that toss, the result would have been the same. The Chiefs still would have won that game, because it's not true. Which to me is just stupid. When that coin holds that much power, it's ridiculous. Keep the rule for the regular season. You don't want these guys out there playing 15 overtimes, whatever. I don't care. But the playoffs, the Chiefs defense should have had to go out there and say, okay, can you get a stop now?
Right.
Because they couldn't the last, 2 drives, 3 drives, they got completely ate up. So
Yeah.
I'm not blaming that. The Bills should have won this game in regulation.
Correct.
I'm not sitting here saying that a different overtime rule would change the outcome of that game. But the fact is the rule is terrible. And every fan that says this is the greatest game ever, how do you say that when this is how it ended? Like, that just, to me, just leaves a bad taste in my mouth that this is what we were left with.
Right. Josh sitting on the bench with his helmet on.
Yeah, which I said about Mahomes. So now you had, like, back then it was Brady versus Mahomes. You had your best young talent who never got to see the ball in overtime. Here you have the 2 best young quarterbacks in the league, and only one of them gets to go on the field in overtime and prove that he wins. You're taking the other guy, taking the ball out of his hands and saying, sorry, that's the way the coin flipped. It's just such a terrible rule. Such a terrible rule.
Ron says, what if the NFL said you get 10 minutes for overtime and whatever happens, happens? I think Hunter may have suggested that on his post that he put up on his page the other day. Just that give him another period, and play the and if you knock it down to 10 minutes, like I'm fine, I'd be okay with that. At least then you're. Go ahead.
But then what the problem becomes? I think the problem with that is what happens when it's a tie game at the end of the 10 minutes.
Well, then it's second overtime. So it's
but that's what I'm saying. You might, you know how NFL is. Are these guys going to play? It's very possible they play a 2-hour game. I think it's got to be almost like college, but maybe a little bit harder. Put them on,
Yeah, somebody said like the 45, so that you're in a gimme shot field goal range.
Exactly. Yep. I mean, I just think, the full overtime would be all right, but I just see teams, it balances out. Then what do you do?
Hunter, that post is way too long for me to read to everybody.
I'm going to do. So he
Hunter
thinks
says he thinks,
and then go to the college. Yeah.
I think it should be a full quarter of football regardless who scores first or whatever. And if it's still tied, after that, go into sudden death. Each team takes it from the 45. That way field goals aren't a guarantee. And play it like it's college. That's just his opinion on the matter. Yeah, I mean, anything would be better at this point than what they have, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, because this is...
Anything would be better.
Yeah. But again, like I said, I hope they do it for the sake of the league, not just because the Bills lost. It sucks that the Bills lost that way, sure, but 13 seconds.
Yep. I think I'm reading this
seconds.
Jennifer comment, and she's one of the people that I think just doesn't get it. And I'm not being mean, but she's one of the people that are defending the defense.
Defense
the
gets
defense
paid.
Didn't have to see the field.
Right.
So there's not whining. It's the Chiefs defense didn't have to prove anything. So why not? Why? Because there was a coin flip. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that to me is, it's not defense wins. The other team's defense didn't have to prove anything.
Exactly.
The other team scored.
And that was your point on Hunter's post the other day where you said, he put that Keenan Allen said defense wins championships. And you said, okay, then why didn't Kansas City's have to play and take the field in the overtime period? Yeah.
That's just, it's different than any other sport because you have an offense and you have a defense. Baseball. There's
right.
You don't just get a home run at the top of the 10th inning and say, well,
and it's over.
Too bad. You should have pitched better. Yep. Should have pitched better. Sorry. See you next year.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a bad rule. It's a whole team sport. The whole team should have to prove it.
Yeah. In hockey, the 2 defensemen don't get to sit on the bench while the forwards play the overtime period.
Exactly.
So, yeah. All right. I've spoken my piece on the Bills. I did watch Allen's press conference today, and I will say, and I think I told you this, shitty outcome. That game was complete, it sucks. It's a real bummer. Yep. I was, hoping to be getting ready for another game this weekend. But the fact that I get to watch that kid play in a Bills uniform for the next 8 years or more is a pretty good feeling. And I think it was Colin Cowherd who said he watched the evolution of quarterbacks, over the past three decades. And he brought up Marino and Elway. And then he said Brady and Manning. And now he said now it's Allen and Mahomes, and he said right now Mahomes is the guy, but Josh will get his. And I hope he's right because I just want one.
I'll tell you, I think
one before I die.
think I texted you after the game and told you there's nothing. I know that's a heartbreaking loss, but you can walk out of there with your head held high because, offensively you did everything you had to do. It's a stupid rule. I mean, a stupid rule is what it came down to. Not that guarantees the outcome of the game one way or the other, but
right.
You never know. If he gets the ball, you never know.
But if anything else, it left the fans sold short.
You showed you can play with those guys. You showed you can play. Yeah, every fan should feel that way. Chiefs fans, everyone should feel that way. We got robbed of what should have been a much better ending to that game.
Positive note on Chiefs fans. They have been doing a donation to Josh Allen's charity, taking a page out of the Bills Mafia playbook, which I think is cool. And I'm seeing other fan bases around the league have started doing this too. Donated $13. Each fan did. They've raised nearly $200,000 for the Oshai Children's Hospital, the Patricia Allen Recovery Wing, which was named after Josh's grandmother. So pretty cool that they're doing that, and that there's a lot of businesses and stuff are chipping in and matching them and all of that. So I think that I like seeing that. And realistically, Chiefs and Bills fans better get comfortable with each other because they're going to be seeing a lot of each other in the playoffs for years to come. Not to mention if they continue the wins in the division, winning their respected divisions, they're going to play each other in the regular season every year anyway. So let alone playoffs. So I don't think it's
note from the Niners game. Bears fans, after Robbie Gould kicked that field goal, donating to Robbie Gould's charity because they hate the Packers so much. They were so happy to see the Packers bumped. Big charity donations.
So Jen says that they lost in 19 under the same rules. Correct. And your team petitioned the league to change the rules. So clearly me thinking it should happen. I'm not the only one because Andy Reid actually said this week too that they should review it. And the Chiefs organization petitioned for the change in 2019. So
that is a great point.
Did you tell just curious if you told the Chiefs organization to stop whining also, and that they should just take their participation trophy and go home, because they are saying the exact same things we're saying in 2022 they said in 2019. And Jen added that Casey did it last year also for charity. Yeah, it's definitely a page out of the Bills Mafia playbook. They've been doing that for years, and it's pretty awesome.
All
right, where are we at here?
Ben?
Coaches, we're going to get to Ben. I just wanted to throw the note out there like I told you before the show. NFL coaches, obviously the carousel has begun. There's been a couple hires, or at least looks like there's going to be. We're going to wait till the more of the vacancies are filled, and then we'll get into a segment regarding the coaching carousel, because it's should be interesting. I mean, it looks like Dable's gone from Buffalo for sure. I would think Flores is going to get a job. Now Sean Payton leaves the Saints, but still under contract. So there would have to be some sort of exchange with the Saints to get him to be released. But we'll get into that. Like we said, Big Ben officially retires. I think it's a good note. He's clearly a Hall of Famer, so he'll be next stop Canton for sure. One of the things, excuse me, one of the things that I thought was funny, did you see Tom Brady's little message to Ben on his retirement?
I did not see that. No.
I don't have the exact quote available, but what he said was essentially Big Ben defied the TB12 program and took a put some ice on it mentality. So basically Brady was like, you're a fat fuck and you still played well. And I think the final sentence in that was like, there's more than one way to bake a cake. So basically he called Ben like dad bod, piece of shit, but still a good quarterback in the nicest way possible. It was pretty interesting. But I just wanted to note that because we kind of saw this coming. I could never have imagined him going to another team, especially with his plays kind of deteriorating. No. I don't know that anybody would go after him, but that's how I feel. Yeah, I couldn't even picture what he would look like in another team's uniform, though, to be honest with you.
Be goofy. Don't
It
like
would
it.
be it'd be strange. On to some baseball real quick. David Ortiz elected to the Hall of Fame. He got 77.9% of the vote needed to get in. Bonds and Clemens left out. Now their only opportunity now to get in is if there's a special committee which meets, I think they said like next December or something like that. They meet and they could, if a committee does a vote or something, which I've never heard of that before. I don't know what is going on with that. But interesting to me, Ortiz has a 2003 positive test for steroids, blames the Yankees, and then the guy with the most home runs in Major League Baseball history and the guy with the most Cy Youngs in Major League Baseball history get left off because of their involvement with steroids. Well, the Hall of Fame process is a joke.
The Hall of Fame is a joke. Pete Rose, your all-time hits leader, not in because he bet on his team to win games.
Right. Which I tore apart that one guy's argument that one time where he was saying he found a pattern and he believes that by not betting on his team certain nights, he was throwing the game. I was like, no, he just had a shitty pitcher and he didn't want to lose money, so he didn't bet on him.
Exactly. He knew.
He knew which guys were good when they were on the mound. That's not betting against. Go ahead.
Yeah. No person is betting on their team to win every week. I wanted the Bucks to win the game, so I would be able to bet against the Niners this week. I can't because the Rams won now, but I know it's just bad juju. You can't bet on them every week. You bet with your brain, not with your heart.
Right, exactly. I'm with you on that. I think most people I know believe Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. There are definitely some out there who don't. Hunter says steroids help you hit. Steroids help you hit the ball far. You still have to have the skill to hit the ball. Exactly. And that's how I feel when it comes to Bonds. I mean, dude's bat speed was out of control before he started using steroids. Let's see here.
Just criminal.
Ron says the Hall of Fame in baseball is a joke, awful, and adds that it's not like they were the only ones using PEDs. Listen, as an Astros fan and a former child who loved Jeff Bagwell, you look compared to his baseball cards from like 91 and 97. It looks just like Barry Bonds' baseball cards from 91 and 97. It's not much of a difference there. It's who got caught. That is it.
We're getting in our upper 30s. We're going to get that all natural muscle growth coming anytime now, Bees. We'll be jacked. No.
Yeah, I can't wait. It just naturally happens to those guys. It should happen to us too, right? We do nothing, work out sporadically, and just get fucking huge. We're going to be looking like Miles.
Exactly.
All right. I think that's about all we got for opening. You got anything else? Holy shit, it's 6:54. All right, yeah, we got to move on. I'm behind. That was a long segment.
That was long, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get moving, and then that way we can head into sports history and get rolling into heading towards the fan rant. This week's opening segment brought to you by Napoli's. Hungry watching the game? Call Napoli's at 814-723-7455. 7 days a week, 11 a.m., 10 p.m., located in North Warren. Pickup or delivery available. Don't forget Napoli's Super Bowl party pack. Go to the Facebook page. The post is pinned at the top. Like the post. Put your predictions in for who you think will play in the Super Bowl. If you are correct, you'll be entered into a drawing, which will be drawn next Thursday, a week from tonight, right at the start of the show. Stick around. We're going to be back with This Week in Sports History.
Hungry? Watching the game? Order some Napoli's Pizza, voted the best pizza in the Times Observer Reader's Choice every year. Homemade, hand-tossed, delicious hot pizza, stromboli, salads, subs, and so much more. Located in North Warren, come on in or call 814-723-7455 and ask about our specials. Pickup or delivery available 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Again, that's 814-723-7455.
Hi, this is Brian Hagberg, and I wanted to take a moment to tell you about our new website, YourDailyLocal.com. Your Daily Local is your new home for news, sports, and events in Warren County and beyond. Our goal is to cover the people, places, events, and happenings that matter to you in a variety of ways, including writing, video, and audio. And the best part? All of our content is available for free. Head to yourdailylocal.com to get the news you need when you need it.
Let's take a look back at this week in sports history.
This week in sports history is brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit yourdailylocal.com for the news you need when you need it. You ready to roll?
Absolutely.
Here we go. Number 1, 1983 Mud Bowl. Dolphins beat the Jets 14-0 in the AFC Championship on a wet, muddy field, which negated the Jets' significant speed and skill. Kind of reminds me of a windstorm Monday night game this past season. I don't know. Something about it. The weather having a factor with their team's best players. It's just weird. It kind of reminds me of that. Because we all know Mac Jones can't go into a shootout with Josh Allen.
Correct.
1984. Hulk Hogan defeats Iron Sheik to win his first WWF title. That was the year I was born, by the way. And then I just became a fan of the guy. And I did drink beer with him. Yeah. Yep. November. We're buddies.
Yeah.
Me and him. Me and the Hulkster. 1989. After his third Super Bowl win as coach of the 49ers, Bill Walsh retires from football. I threw that one on there for you.
Day.
Well, I was just trying to give you some juju, though, going into, some Niners Super Bowl talk. I was just trying to,
I like it.
Help you out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 1990, Johnny Mack, the bad boy of tennis, becomes the first ever player to be expelled from the Australian Open. I don't know if anybody's been expelled since then, but didn't they just ban that one dude for, not getting a fucking vaccine or something?
What's his name?
Novak Djokovic.
Yeah.
Wait, am I?
Yeah.
Djokovic? Is that a basketball player? I know nothing about tennis. Yeah.
I can't think of his name, but
who's in the comments? Somebody help us out here.
He lied and told him that he had the vaccination or didn't have
So he A beat him.
He A beat him, I think. Yeah.
He A beat him.
Yeah,
all right.
I think that's
that makes sense. And they told him to go home, just like the Bucks did.
Yep.
Last but not least, 1992, Bill Cowher becomes the head coach of the Steelers, becoming only the second head coach of the team since 1970, Chuck Noll. And this just fits into my rant on Tomlin, where people are like, Tomlin sucks, fire him, blah, blah, blah. He's the third coach they've had since the 70s. Clearly, that organization kind of gets it when it comes to head coach hiring. I watched 3 Bills coaches in 7 years.
Right.
And that's being generous. Yep. I didn't do the math on that. It could be actually could be
imagine what
far less
fans
than
are
that.
going through.
Right. Yeah. It's just not great.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're motoring along. This week in sports history brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit yourdailylocal.com for the news you need when you need it. We'll be back with the things that sting.
Jones Pest Control, your hometown pest control company servicing residential and commercial properties in Warren and surrounding areas since 2015. Sean and his crew will work tirelessly to keep your home or business free of insects to rodents and everything in between. Contact Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548 and set up an appointment today. And remember, ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control, 814-230-9548.
Checkout means sales and services with 2 locations on Warren's East Side. Their garage at 800 Lexington Avenue not only services cars sold by Means, but has knowledgeable staff and modern state-of-the-art equipment waiting to serve their hometown of Warren. Whatever you need, including alignments, tires, brakes, yearly or enhanced PA inspections, oil changes, and much more. Make your appointment today at 814-723-7191, extension 2.
It's now time for the things that sting. The worst stories in sports, according to Joe.
Things that stings, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control, 814-230-9548. Nate Hobbs. This fella, the Raiders, like I've said this a million times, the Raiders have kept this segment going. It thrives on the Vegas Raiders. So if you remember correctly, if you've been following along, Nate Hobbs 2 weeks ago arrested for DUI, asleep behind the wheel. Those charges, here's the good news. We'll go good news first, right? Those charges, the DUI charge was dropped. He pled to careless driving. His BAC came back at 0.7, which is tenth of a point below. Right. Yeah. He's 0.08 Vegas. I don't know if that's nationwide or not, but PA is 0.08. But yeah, so 0.08, he comes in at 0.07. So no DUI for Nate Hobbs. So that's good news. However, he was just the other day arrested for reckless driving for doing 110 miles an hour on a freeway in Vegas.
Like, was Henry Ruggs not his teammate? Dude just didn't learn anything.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to
Come on, man.
the Raiders' problems except for
move them out of Vegas.
Yeah, I truly do believe that is going to be a bad thing for them for years to come. There's just so much trouble to find there.
Yep.
We haven't even dealt with any of them like killing a prostitute or anything like that yet, which is
there's always next year, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just so much room for error playing in Vegas. Like and I'm anxious to see which ones of them start getting hooked on gambling too, and that becomes a problem where they're making millions a year, but casinos for markers, for 5 or 6 mil or whatever it might end up being.
Yep.
All right. AB, our regularly scheduled guest, Antonio Brown, talking now about a lawsuit. First, let's start with his post after the Bucs lost. He posted the picture of himself on the field with no shirt on, holding a sign that says Bucs eliminated. So he was happy about that. That made Antonio happy. But then he goes on HBO special with Bryant Gumbel, and when asked by Gumbel if he believes he has problems with mental health, his answer was no, I have mental wealth.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Damn. All right, AB. So now he's talking about a lawsuit. Oh, also, while we're talking about that special, he also referenced mental health institutions as a crazy house, which Solomon Thomas of the Raiders took personally and said, don't hate on people for trying to get help and call it that. He didn't like that. So there was that. And now he's talking about a lawsuit because he said the Bucs offered him $200,000 to go seek mental health help. So he's now seeking a lawsuit for defamation and making him play injured. So that's where we're at with AB. And also he is on the hunt for a new team, and it looks like he has one in his sights. Did you see who?
Oh, the Ravens. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
so he tweeted or Instagram, whatever he does, a photo of him in a Ravens uniform. And Lamar tweets back the purple devil horn guy, which I don't know what that emoji means. What does that mean?
I have no idea. I'm not that advanced in emoji speak.
Me neither. I only know the dick one, and I understand what the face is.
You would know the dick one.
Right. I know the dick one, and I know the faces, I know what a smiley face means or a wink, I know I get all those. But the devil horn purple guy,
I don't know if that's the sneaky evil, I
don't know, but hopefully
we're gonna put it together.
Miles says dude's hanging with Kanye. Enough said. Fair.
He is right.
Can we get anybody who knows what the purple headed emoji means chime in, because I am curious what Lamar's I think it means he's into it, right? Like he wants that.
Yeah, I think that's like the evil, like your
Like
evil laugh.
mischief.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Is that what
yeah.
yeah, that could be.
That's what I've always taken it as.
So,
But yeah,
question for Antonio Brown though: does he know that Lamar can't really throw all that well?
No, nope. The guy's a clown. If I was the Bucks, I would hope that he sues me, and I would go to the court, and my case would be: here's the video footage of him on the sideline. Show me where he goes and talks to a trainer and says he's injured, and then I would just walk out. That'd be my case. I'd drop the mic and I'd walk out of the court. Let me know how we do.
Ron says evil laugh. Hunter says mischievous. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Well, hopefully he goes to Baltimore, but I highly doubt. Actually, I wouldn't doubt it if they picked him up because John Harbaugh doesn't care who they put on that team. He doesn't even coach them. He lets the players coach.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't make decisions for 2-point conversions. He lets everybody else make that call. Moon chiming in. Sorry, Moon, we're running a few behind. I know he's anxiously awaiting to get a piece of you on the fan rant.
Moon's saying
49ers
dick. That's what's going to be on Moon's face this weekend. Yeah, that's great. Great call. Great call, Moon.
All right. Enough, AB. This was a fun one. Unnamed Dolphins defender says he is wasting his career playing for a team that is led by Tua. So even the players are starting to say what everybody else is saying, which I think Brian Flores probably said the same shit, and that's why he's gone.
I agree. Yep.
Because they think Tua, there's the owner, or the GM, or whoever it was is all in on Tua. Flores is like, oh, he kind of sucks. He's not gonna do it. But yeah, I don't know. And also, stab in the dark at who the Dolphins defender was. I still think it's Howard because he's kind of a loudmouth anyway, isn't he? A little bit.
Yeah, I think
like it just seems like something he would say. And he's really good. So like, yes, his career could potentially be wasting away in Miami right now, playing under or playing for a team led by Tua. So.
Yep.
All right, last one we got, and I have to pull up the photo here because I did save it somewhere. Here it is. All right. So the Bitcoin contracts, which Sketty said this has now been disputed, but I just want to throw it out there because it is interesting to read. The amount of people applauding players changing their salary into Bitcoin. This is by Darren Rovell, who I don't know who he is, but he's verified, so people must know him.
He's kind of a clown on Twitter. He has some very Sketty on sports takes. So, clown.
I'm glad that you have addressed the fact that you're the clown on this podcast.
No, I'm the clown. I didn't know that was like disputed. I thought we all knew. That's what I'm here to do.
Okay, so the amount of people applauding players changing their salary into Bitcoin as if they were heroes has been comical. Rams wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., at least in the moment, provides a cautionary tale. On November 12th, Odell Beckham signed a deal with the Rams worth $750,000. He announced he would take that in Bitcoin. At the time, Bitcoin was worth $64,293. Today, it is worth $35,400. Today, that deal is worth $412,953. Odell will be taxed on the $750,000. Federal and California state will be 50.3%. That means Odell has now netted $35,703 from the Rams contract this year. Because if you haven't followed along, I don't follow along. I pay no attention to crypto, Bitcoin, any of that shit. I couldn't tell you the first thing about it. I don't understand mining. Like, how the fuck do you just find it?
My buddy,
and I probably sound stupid. I probably sound stupid to people who like do know. But like when I hear you're like mining for Bitcoin, like what do you do? Do you just dig around the internet somewhere and you run into some, or what? How the fuck? I don't know. Anyways, I know nothing about this shit. But Sketty said that this has been disputed, correct?
Yeah,
because players get paid weekly, not per the full deal.
Yeah, they don't get a lump sum. They're paid out over a week. And I was kind of curious, like, how does that work? Because if he wants it in Bitcoin, do they go and buy him Bitcoin every week and then hand it to him? Like, so has he lost money? The article I found said that he gets paid weekly. he doesn't actually even get paid in Bitcoin. He's just buying Bitcoin as soon as he gets the cash. So whether it's the Rams go and buy Bitcoin and give it to him, or he gets it and then buys Bitcoin. He did sign a deal with, I think, Cash App, my buddy told me, and then I read online, like, they're paying him millions of dollars to do this whole Bitcoin stunt. So he's actually making out pretty good on the deal and telling everyone, yeah, I get paid in Bitcoin. It's all just, in my eyes, a giant scam.
Sure. Sherm says that Darren Rovell is the real deal when it comes to the business of sports, not a clown. He didn't add in this, but I will. Sketty, still a clown.
Well, I am still a clown, but I know the NFL players get game checks, so I don't think they would have bought Bitcoin, whatever, and said however many $750,000 in Bitcoin is. What's that, like?
I don't know, 12?
15. I think it's like 15 Bitcoins. I'm sure they're not just handing them, like, I think so. I think like,
well, yeah, I guess if one
$50,000-$60,000, yeah.
So one Bitcoin at the time was worth $64,293.
So it's just over 12 Bitcoin that he would have got. But yeah, I don't know. Again, you get paid weekly, so I don't know if they bought it at the time, and I don't know what the logistics. Like I said, the thing I read, the article said that he doesn't even actually get paid in Bitcoin. He gets the money, then buys Bitcoin.
I wish I gave a fuck enough to research Bitcoin.
You could have made a lot of money on it, but
you could have.
I don't think it's a long-term asset. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, now I don't think you can. But
yeah, I'm not going to buy one Bitcoin for. Oh, it dropped to 35,400. Sign me up for one Bitcoin.
You'll see all these idiots buying in now, thinking that it's going to go back up. That's what drives the price of this stuff back up. People thinking they're buying the dip.
To the moon. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, to the moon. To the moon. Doge, to the moon.
All right.
Yep.
It's fan rant time.
Perfect.
This edition of The Things That Sting was powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control, 814-230-9548. That's 814-230-9548. I'm going to throw up the break time video so that I can get our final four in here, and then we'll be back with some fan rant. Stick around. Blue Line Auto, located at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren, is locally owned and operated and is a family-run business specializing in vehicle sales and service. They offer state and safety inspections and general car repairs, including but not limited to brakes and rotors, tires, oil changes, batteries, starters, and alternators. They also offer vehicle undercoating prior to winter to help keep your vehicle protected. Currently, their hours are Monday through Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Thursday and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them today to schedule your next appointment at 814-230-9061. Your safety is their goal.
Hi, this is Ryan Klein, the host of the new pop culture podcast, Me, Myself, and Rye. You can find me on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and several other platforms. Special guests, breakaway shows, bonus episodes, cold beers, and a whole lot more. So what are you guys and gals waiting for? Subscribe now to the Me, Myself, and Rye podcast on Spotify or wherever it is that you get your shows and start listening today.
My Hive, Joe's very own world of sports.
My Hive is presented by Blue Line Auto. For all your automotive needs, call Blue Line Auto at 814-230-9061 or stop in at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. Adding them in. Here we go. So we got AFC's first, right? 3 o'clock?
Yes, AFC is first.
All right. So home team is the Chiefs because of overtime, but that's all right. All right, Jen? All right.
Mike's muted.
She is?
No, I turned it off.
Nope, there it is.
Oh,
There
okay.
it is.
There she is. All right. Good deal.
All right.
Let's get rolling. Congratulations, both you guys. Made it to the Final Four. One of you will be back next week. I'm sure both of you think it's going to be you, right?
Any given Sunday.
Jen, I was easy on you last week. You got fucking power bar Andy Dalton you got to deal with now.
I got the
He's even
lucky
got the
Andy up.
jersey.
Yeah. Good luck. All right, so we're going to get her started. Miles, we're giving you a minute on the clock.
Yeah.
State your case. Why is Houday Nation going to head into the Chiefs' kingdom and get themselves a win?
You know what, man? I mean, I would be lying if at the beginning of this season I would have told you that we would be in the AFC Championship game.
We would have called you a liar, also.
Exactly, but I mean, I am so thrilled to be here. I will say, if as was the case with the last matchups we had, I'm happy we have the Chiefs over the Bills. I think we're a better matchup. And, we have beaten the Chiefs. We beat them in week 17 this season already. They put up about, I think, 28 or 27 points on us in the first half, and we held them to 3 points in the second half. That was in the jungle. That was in Cincinnati. We're going into Arrowhead. I do think it's going to be a different situation because my understanding it is like deafeningly loud there. So We're gonna have to play. We're gonna have to play our best game. I think Burrow is going to have to play a near perfect game in order to win this. That being said, we just played against the Tennessee Titans where he was sacked a postseason record 9 times.
Yeah,
still threw for 350 yards. So I mean, between him and Jamar Chase, these guys are both gamers. I am super thrilled to still be here. I'm super thrilled to see this game because I think it's going to be an absolute shootout. I'm hearing a lot of folks say like the team who gets to 40 points is going to be the one that wins. So I think this one will be fun.
Well, we're glad to have you back, Miles, and I'm also glad that your Canadian internet is not acting up tonight and everything's looking, your picture's sharp, the audio's good, everything. Life's good in Miles's world right now.
We got a snowstorm going on, but I turned all the devices off in my house. So.
You called this.
Lucky you.
You called it.
All right, Sketty, got any questions for Miles here?
I have no questions for Miles because I don't want to spoil any 3-bagger picks or anything, but I think the Bengals are going to win this game. I just think Joe, the Bengals, the confidence is there. Chiefs coming off an emotional game. I like the Bengals in this game. I got no questions.
All right.
You liked the Bills last week.
No, he didn't.
No,
he picked the Chiefs.
Last week.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, no, that was me who picked the Bills. I mean,
no crap.
yeah, here, yeah, I kind of like those guys. But Miles, my only question is, how much do you deadlift?
I've topped with all the shutdowns we've had. I've taken a step back, but I topped out at about 520.
All right, that's Miles in his prime, 520.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like I could be, a lot more by now, but obviously we've had so many shutdowns that.
Have you considered trying out for offensive linemen to protect Joe Burrow?
If I could, I would, man. I am so sick of seeing this guy get planted. It terrifies me every single time.
You kind of terrify me, not gonna lie. All right, Jen, you're on the clock. A minute to go. Why are the Chiefs gonna take another home win and head into their third straight Super Bowl? Second, third?
It would be third straight.
Third straight. Okay, go ahead.
We'll see if three's a charm. Well, it's going to be any given Sunday again. We're going in tired. That was a freaking game.
Yeah.
It was a great game. I don't care what you say, Joe. That was a great.
Oh, no, it was. I will not. I'm not disputing that at all. It was an emotional roller coaster for fans on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah. But, congratulations to Cincinnati, 31 years. Bravo. Usually I'm for the underdog if my team's not in it. So just to let you know.
Cheers.
But and anybody but the Ravens. So I can't stand them.
Yeah.
I live here with them. Not fun.
Yeah, we know. We live around Steeler fans.
So, but as of Sunday, I just hope we go in and kick your ass. You're going to be at our place. So we're loud. I don't know if you heard Romo or not. He was like, GD, this place is loud on air because it's loud.
Yep.
All right.
And that's all I can say. I mean, the 12th man really plays a part in Kansas City.
Yep.
For sure.
So the coin tosses.
Oh, everybody needs a Brady sometime. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I know. I told you. I'm not blaming the rules.
And your guy was Josh Allen was saying the same thing. We would be celebrating if it was us. So it is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right, which is why the rules need change. But that's another story. All right. Sketty, any questions for Jen?
No, I think Jen kind of touched on my only question about this game is, I'm curious to see how the Chiefs respond because I think that was an emotionally draining game they just played, especially with it being kind of billed as the AFC Championship game. Are they going to look past the Bengals? Are they going to be up for this game, or did they blow it all, Sunday night against the Bills?
Well, it all depends what kind of creative genius Andy wants to be this week.
So,
yeah,
Jen, my question is: I know you're really banking on the 12th man and the crowd noise and everything. Joe Burrow has made it extremely clear that SEC games are much louder than anything he's seen in the NFL. So, and I actually watched a video today posted of the outside of the Bengals practice facility where they were pumping so much crowd noise into there while they're practicing that they could hear, so take away the crowd noise. Do you think that Chiefs defense will be able to capitalize on a weak offensive line and get to Burrow? And if they do, as he's shown 9 times, he's on his back and he still throws for 350. Are they going to be able to capitalize on the sacks like Tennessee was not?
I will be the first to admit that pretty much Kansas City defense is usually in the shitter a lot. I'm not lying to you. I mean, I've watched this team for a very long time. So, yeah. There's no excuse for the defense. It's always been lacking, especially the last several years, but somehow we get it done. And I pray to the gods every week to keep doing it. I don't really like to shit talk a lot. Like I said last week, I'm not that person.
Yeah, she waits till the following week and then she does it in the comments.
No, I just don't like to hear you whining like a freaking parent.
I know.
Trophies.
I'm just teasing.
Suck it up. Shit.
All right, close her down, Miles. Give us a good Bengals Who Day statement.
Boy, I think I'll start with, I wanted at the beginning of the season, I wasn't sure if Zach Taylor was the guy. And in his time at Cincy, he has talked about culture. And I think now you're seeing that whole progression come to fruition. They drafted team captains. In free agency, they picked up guys who were competitors, who know how to win. You get two people like Jamar Chase and, Joe Burrow, who have, if you were to ask them, haven't really had a losing season in their entire sporting lives, going all the way back to kids. Like, they just can't handle the taste of losing in their mouths. And I know I cited this before, but just go back and watch those two in the college football playoffs. There was, Joe Burrow threw for like 10 touchdowns and no interceptions and had a QBR over 100. I think if we can, I don't think it's going to be the same kind of dynamic that it was, when they were playing in Cincinnati. But I think if we can take certain aspects of that Kansas City offense off the table, I think Hill's going to eat, Kelsey's going to eat. But if we can stop, Hardman, Pringle, even those running backs from eating, and maybe they can get a punt on a couple drives, or Harrison Butker can miss a field goal again and stuff like that. I think we have a puncher's chance. I'm not going to say like, this is it, we're going to win this game, but I am extremely confident in our chances of winning this matchup, because we've already done it in week 17.
All right, Jen, rebuttal. Well, not rebuttal, but your closing statements, I should say.
You can bank on your week 17 all you want. The Bills beat us too this year, so it's going to be who wants it more again. And I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Hey, thank both of you for being on and continuing to be on each week as we progress through the playoff fan rant. We'll see one of you next week. Jen, as much as I like your takes, I'm cheering for the Bengals. I hope I get to see fucking Andy Dalton, big, huge Andy Dalton next week. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'll start curling next time.
Well, that'll be next season when you come back on.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.
Oh, man. Welcome aboard, Moon. Good to see you, as always. How you feeling tonight?
Yeah, after the
relaxed.
Relaxed, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Did you
how dirty
get your Super Bowl tickets yet?
Nah, I was actually supposed to be in Anaheim next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the convention got canceled. So I'm a little bummed out about that. But considering I didn't watch the last 2 minutes of the Rams and Tampa Bay, something tells me if I was at SoFi, I wouldn't see the whole game this weekend anyway.
Tickets get in the way of the end of that game, or what happened there?
I don't know. I think.
All right. So I'm a little confused on who the home team is here, because I'm pretty sure the Niners are going to have more fans there, but it is the Rams Stadium. But I was going to leave it up to a coin toss, but we know how coin tosses are going these days. So, Sketty, you are the away team, despite what the color of uniform or jerseys in the crowd looks like. So let's go. You got a minute.
All right. Well, first off, Moon, I want to say congrats on the nice season. The Matt Stafford project worked out a little bit. Cooper Kupp should be getting some MVP votes in my mind. Had a great season. Hope you enjoyed it. Ends on Sunday, just like I told everybody else. Kyle Shanahan and Deebo Samuel own the Rams. They own them. 6-0. 6-0 the last 6 meetings. Everyone keeps saying, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in one season. It's even tougher to beat them 7 times in a row, but shit, the Niners are going to do it. The 49ers have given up 27 points against the number 1 ranked offense and the presumptive MVP and Aaron Rodgers. The Rams gave up fucking 24 points second half last week. This is going to be one more bully beatdown. I can't fucking wait to watch it and watch the whole Rams sideline just completely give up. They might all retire. There's a lot of old guys over there. We might see like 8 careers end on Sunday. Stay tuned. Can't wait.
All right, Moon. You got to, or actually, I guess it's question time. So, Moon, go ahead and ask some questions of Sketty because I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I hope if the 49ers win, because I did some homework on this. In 2018, the Rams swept the 49ers, lose in the Super Bowl. The next year, the 49ers sweep the Rams, lose in the Super Bowl. So, if you beat us, I'm putting all my money on the AFC. Let's just put it that way. You were right about Deebo Samuel. I mean, I really have no idea the way Raheem Morris is going to game plan for that. Like, do you put Jalen Ramsey on him as a shadow? How do you do that? Because no offense, I mean, that's really the only guy on your team that scares me. I mean, the running backs are all decent, but it's like, do they have Velcro on the back of their nameplates? Because it seems like every week it's a different guy in there. So, it should be interesting, to say the least. But, out of that domination, 3 of those losses were all about a field goal, too. So, wasn't only in 2021 would I consider that first game a blowout.
Well, the Niners been winning close games. They might have to do it one more time, Moon. I mean, basically going to be a home game for them. I'm telling you, all bullshit aside, I think the Rams are in trouble this week. I was a little nervous going in. First 3 days, I was like, oh shit, it's like we're not going to beat them a 7th straight time. Like they're due. But then I look at this game and I just don't see the Rams and Matt Stafford fall apart in the second half of games.
Well, but this puts the Rams in line for so much more, because what is transpiring this week within the NFC? Brady, you're hearing all this stuff. You're hearing stuff out of Green Bay. If the Rams win and then win the Super Bowl, they're already a preferential free agent spot. They're going to have their cap issues and things like that, but that's a team that's still going to be contending next year. And without Tom Brady and without Aaron Rodgers, I really don't see Green Bay or Tampa Bay being able to compete. So I think there's a lot at stake in this game.
Well, and I'll agree with you with that. I think next year the Rams might have a little easy path because I think Jimmy's going to be gone almost certainly. We'll see what Trey Lance brings to the field, but the NFC is going to be pretty wide open. But that's next year, Moon. That ain't this year. This year, We still got the guy who just wins games. 13, 14, and 5 when he's an underdog in the play over his career, Jimmy Garoppolo. It's about to be 15 and 5.
But Sketty, who cares? I mean, Matthew Stafford never made the playoffs. He could be the greatest playoff quarterback ever. He's just getting his chance now.
I think he made it once in Detroit and they lost. I'm pretty sure it's one season. One season.
Couple,
that's what I'm saying. You got a guy.
2.
Jimmy has a Super Bowl ring. Jimmy has quarterbacked the team in the Super Bowl. Didn't win that one, but he does have the ring. So this is going to be his 3rd trip there. I think the Niners are feeling no pressure. They've looked a little iffy on offense the past 2 weeks. I'm looking for an explosion this week. I think this is the week they get it together.
Sketty, do you think Brady autographed Jimmy's ring for him?
I bet you if he asked.
I was just curious if he put a little signet, little TB12 on there, so Jimmy remembers how he acquired that ring.
It's a stamp. He said, "No, go get yourself one, kid."
Well, there's all the family history back and forth with the Shanahans and the McVays, and even the McVays got their start up in San Fran. So,
Yep.
It's almost like, Shanahan has become McVay's kryptonite. And so, how much of that is coach against coach? Because I think a lot of what we've seen, at least over the last 2 years, has been just mano a mano, McVay against Shanahan, mind against mind,
Yep. I think the big thing for me, and I'd love to know how you feel about this, but the Rams game, week 18, McVay was in the end zone celebrating when they scored, I think their second touchdown. The ref gave them a warning. So everyone talks about how that wasn't the playoffs and it doesn't matter. Well, the Rams made it look like that was their Super Bowl. Like the coach is in the end zone celebrating. How much are we in the Rams of the minds? How much are the Niners in these guys' heads? Because, they come out and get punched in the mouth. I think this team's going to roll over and quit. I think they're just going to say, here we go again.
I think they're going to bite their ear off.
Well, I mean, hey, if they come out, even if they're up 2 touchdowns, though, do you feel really I mean, they were up 17 points in the first half. They got beat. I mean, I just think that they're in their heads. There's nothing good. They got to be up 3 scores, I think, for them to think we got this. There's got to be some fear
well,
there.
take a look at last week. I don't even think 3 scores does it.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. I really thought after you sent me the 27-3, you gave him the kiss of death, man. I was like, he did it. He cursed me.
I just did it I did it to get that monkey off my back, so now I can talk my real shit talk against you this weekend.
You're setting yourself up.
Yeah. 3 steps ahead.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like I said, I was cheering for this matchup. I couldn't wait to get the third matchup between the Rams. Looking for 7 straight wins against them are the Niners. And also, Moon, I tried to get California. I called him at 10-6. And I said, dude, come on. And you and Moon can team up against Sketty. And he wanted nothing to do with it.
He got a Peloton ride tonight, or
the Niners are in Jamie's head is what the problem is.
He is dreading this weekend.
I mean, the other thing too, and I'm not saying this is going to put McVay in the hot seat by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not a Steeler fan and doom and gloom all the time, but they're basically all in. I mean, look at how many draft picks they've mortgaged with Stafford, Ramsey, and then taking the flyer
on Miller.
Taking the flyer on Miller.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all in.
Yeah, they really are too. And that's what, a lot of people keep saying is how long is this window for the Rams going to be open before some of these guys start peeling off for money that they're going to get paid elsewhere? It's tough to say. I mean, the benefit that they have right now is that they're in Los Angeles, which is a destination for these celebrities and these big name players. Like seeing OBJ in Cleveland as compared to New York and LA. Where does OBJ fit in?
Well, and you know why there's so many competitive fans at SoFi? I looked because I was going to the game. You got LAX, you got SoFi, then you got Compton. So most of the LA fans don't want to drive through Compton to get to the stadium. So, 49ers fans have no problems with that, I guess. Because they're coming north.
They might be
too,
from
so it doesn't matter.
I did see the numbers on the tickets are crazy. It's like StubHub out there. I think it's 48% are going to NorCal right now. They're projecting that there's going to be, that's about double what it was week 18. So I'm thinking, I'm not kidding when I say this might be pretty darn close to a home game. They're saying best case, it's 50-50, just judging by ticket sales right now.
Yeah, because what we saw was, what was it, 65% on Vivid Seat right now?
Yeah, that was a different one. And then I saw the StubHub one after that too.
Yeah.
So these are all that place is going to be rocking, which I'm excited for.
There's going to be some fantastic fight videos from the crowd for this game.
Parking lot. That's the real game. That's what we should be watching.
Yeah.
Watch the parking lot.
Well,
Moon, you're here.
There's
go ahead.
a good chance Machete will be there too this week. You never know.
I love that guy.
Yep.
Well, Moon, you're here with us. You want to just stay on and do the 3-bagger with us? We're picking both games against the spread. So,
All right.
have you looked at the spreads? Do you know what they are?
No, but
Here,
I can get on.
I'll pull them up real quick. So I'm going to use FanDuel.
I think it was 3.5 and 7
announce it
was
because
last
those
I saw.
bastards, those guys wouldn't give us a sponsor. I tried way early on, and they wanted nothing to do with us. So,
Not big enough.
so that's why I never announce where I get the odds from, because I don't want to give FanDuel any credit because they're a bunch of dicks. All right, so we are at, where the hell is it? NFL, here we go. All right, so we'll start with the 3:00 game. Real quick recap of last week. Sketty went 3-1 in the 4 games played. I went 2-2. I had Bengals and Rams, right? Those were my 2 wins. You won every game except for what? What did you lose?
The Rams game. I thought the Bucks were going to.
You did take the Bucks.
I thought the Bucks would beat them, and so that was a pretty big sweat going on at the end of that for me. I thought they were going to be perfect.
Right now, per FanDuel, we have the Chiefs favored -7 at home. That's the first game. So let's start with that one. Moon, you're our guest. We'll start with you. Who do you got? Chiefs, Bengals, Chiefs are -7.
I like with that -7. I like the Bengals. I mean, I really think this is going to be a shootout, and if it is a shootout and it comes down to the last team having the ball, they might not even need that 7 points.
I'm in, and real quick, I just want to throw this comment up there. My buddy from Erie, Andy McIntosh. I really hope the Rams win so we don't have to listen to Sketty talk next week.
I really hope the Niners win, so you have to come back and listen to me one more time.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to listen to him anyways because he's going to be on the show whether the Niners win or lose. But
I will. I think someone else, Terry, said that he wonders if my internet's going to stop working when the 49ers lose. So I'm pretty sure he meant if, which is highly unlikely. But if the 49ers lose, I will be on to take my medicine like a man. If you're going to talk shit, you got to be prepared to have shit talk to you. That's
correct.
All there is to it. So I'll be on to take my whooping like a man.
Appreciate that about you. That you'll talk all sorts of shit, but you'll take it too. And if the Rams put a thumping on, if the Rams put a thumping on the Niners,
I'd be shocked.
Well, I'm just saying, if they do, you definitely have a beating coming your way from a lot of angles. I think.
James is not allowed to come on the show because he wouldn't come on and talk shit, though. Just I'm putting that out there right now.
That's fair, but he's going to be in the comments next week if that does happen for sure. All right, so we got Moon taking the Bengals +7. Sketty.
I'm also taking the Bengals +7. I honestly think the Bengals are going to win this game. Just Chiefs coming off an emotional game. The Bengals just seem calm, cool, collected. They're just low keying it through the playoffs. But with the points for sure, like Moon said, if this could very easily be a close game. I think 7 is just way too many. Way too many.
So I'm on board with that too. I like the Bengals with the points. I just think the crowd noise. I think it's going to be a good game. I could see the Chiefs winning this game, but if they do, I could see it being a late touchdown to take the lead or a late field goal to win the game, which isn't going to cover the 7.5. I don't necessarily love the Bengals to win this game, but I like them to cover the 7 points. I just think that's a lot. And I'm anxious to see what that number does when we get closer to kickoff, because I think a lot of people are going to be on Cincinnati with the points. And I could see you ending up getting the Chiefs at a solid number at like 5.5, 6. So we'll monitor that because I'm definitely curious to see where that number ends up once we get closer to kickoff. Because right now you're looking at a value at -105 for that +7. So they're still saying it looks as of now that money is coming in on Kansas City with their value at -115, over under at 54.5. Which
hammer the over.
Actually, I think Moon told me to hammer the over in Bills Chiefs last week too, right before
I did.
He did. Good call on that one. So, all right, let's move into Rams kind of hosting the Niners, kind of a neutral site. I don't know how we're ruling this yet, but Rams are 3.5 point favorites, coming in at minus 110 both ways. So, Moon, we'll start with you. Rams minus 3.5. What do you got?
I got to shit where I eat. I got to go with the Rams. I bet against myself the week one, and look what happened. And never go back. One last thing about the KC Cincy game. Is I just looked too. The weather forecast is supposed to be like 48 degrees. So weather really isn't going to play a factor. The only thing that's going to play a factor in is the opportunity for a shootout to happen.
Right.
Yep.
And I really think this will be a tight game.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, so Rams, you're going Rams minus 3.5. Any other reason other than you're gonna shit where you eat?
I mean, other than like I said, they're all in. I mean, it should or get off the pot for them because there again, they're still going to have some major decisions with Stafford, and they need to make that decision after next year. So where it's all going to be, I think it's going to come down to this. They lose, I think they become like a Green Bay or a Tampa Bay that now all of a sudden the luster is not there.
Sketty.
Well, I'm taking the Niners in the points against my better judgment because the last time I picked the Rams and the Niners beat them. So I thought about going with the trend, but no, the more the first 3 days I was a little worried. Yesterday I started feeling better about this game. The Niners have not looked super on offense the last 2 weeks, but the defense has looked pretty damn good. I think the defense stays hot. Trent Williams might be a little bit of an issue. If he can't go, like he couldn't go week 18, they still pull it out, but that could be a little bit of a hiccup. But I'm really looking for, this is the game where Jimmy's played like junk twice and won, and then tonight, or, Sunday, he's going to come out and just look amazing. I think the Niners offense is finally going to get it together a little bit, and they're going to put pretty good whooping up on the Rams. Just really, like Moon said, they're all in. They're really going to just end them. I think it's a division game. They've been there before. 2 years ago, we were in the big game. Almost everyone was there. I think confidence is high. I've got not a lot of fear. I'd say 98% positive. 98%.
All right, so
the
go ahead,
Rams
Moon.
got to win because I want to get my slushy machine out.
Alcoholic slushies only, right, Moon?
Hey, that's the only way to have them.
I'll be swinging by for one of those for sure.
All right.
All right, so where I'm at with this game right now is, again, this is one I want to watch and see what it does when we get closer to kickoff. If this game creeps under 3, if money starts coming heavy on the Niners and this game gets to a field goal or under a field goal, I'm going to say, I'm probably going to lean Rams. As it stands with the 3.5, I'm going Niners. I'm not there on the money line yet. What?
You've picked against the fucking Niners every week, and I wasn't going to say anything.
No, I don't. I took them
against the Niners.
I took them on the money line against Dallas.
That's what you do in real life. On the show, you took Dallas. On the show, you
Did
took the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, so I'm like, please let them take it.
Yeah, but I took the Packers in real life too. I didn't go Niners money line against.
God damn it, Joe! If they lose, it's all on Bees now. It's all
How's it on
Bees.
me? They've still been winning regardless of what I'm doing.
You've been picking against them. They've been listening. I typed little Jimmy an email and I say, listen to this guy.
And he still plays
like confidence to me.
And he still plays like shit. And somehow wins.
All right, continue with your point.
And he says, all I hear is blah, blah, blah. My stash sucks.
I can't wait because if the Niners go to the Super Bowl, I'm just going to keep letting this shitty thing go. It's going to look so nasty when you got to listen to me next season.
It does look pretty dirty as it is.
Oh,
at 3.5, though, I do like the Niners. I just think if it gets under 3, I could see this being another game with a late field goal. And if it slides the Rams' way, I'll take that. I'll eat 2.5 points on the Rams. 7 win. I get it. Like the 6 straight wins, the ownership of the Rams, it all makes sense. But at some point, that streak's going to end, is what it comes down to.
Agreed.
And
Yep.
what better time for them to do it than right now? And I know how well that defense played against Green Bay, and it's not that they can't do that again, but I just think that Jimmy G has been exposed and has won games. He did not play well against Green Bay at all. Special teams won them that game, and we're not even having this conversation right now if something changes, there. But I just, I think like with the wins that Tennessee was getting without Henry, we always talked about the magic that they had.
Yep.
I think the Jimmy G magic isn't really necessarily magic, and it's more just other people on his team are carrying him across the finish line. That was something I wanted to say to you actually in the fan rant was you're confident Jimmy G won't be there after this season. What if they do win it all?
I honestly think if he wins it all, I think even if he wins this week, they have to bring him back. Trey Lance is just not ready to go. I mean, unless the problem is they're going to be put in a position to make this decision before you see these guys in OTAs. But man, I don't know how you back off Jimmy right now. Like he's had 2 pretty bad games. So if they lose this game,
you can't bench him now in favor of Lance in the fucking NFC Championship.
If he looks bad and they lose this game, then I think it makes that decision to move on pretty easy.
Sure.
But if he pulls out a win, which again, this is kind of my prediction, he's looked like junk for 2 straight weeks. Jimmy's streaky, he gets it together, turns it around this game, whatever, has a 2-3 touchdown game. They beat the Rams handily. How do you move on next year? I mean, it's going to put the Niners in a tough spot.
And here's one of my fears though with Trey Lance. So with the comparison that he was getting coming out of the draft was the likes of Josh Allen, big guy, strong arm, mobile, but raw, needs help. And I honestly think that if Allen doesn't have those few years at game speed where he's taking his lumps and they weren't winning, they weren't playing great, I don't think he is where he's at today. So to me, with Lance, as much of a project as he might be, I don't think he's a guy who's going to sit behind Jimmy G and blossom and then get thrown into a game and be the guy who leads them to the playoffs right away.
I agree. I mean,
so I guess my point is, I guess that like regardless of what Jimmy G does or doesn't do, in these next few weeks, I'm just curious I think the Lance pick becomes less and less great if he's not on the field.
I agree. And, again, it's just how do you move off a guy? You're about to go maybe to a Super Bowl. You just went to an NFC Championship game. How do you move off of that guy? That's kind of a tough thing to do. I think it needs to be done at some point, sooner rather than later. I'm with you. When they were looking at it week 18 against the Rams to even get into the playoffs, if they didn't win that game, the whole season was a waste because you didn't go to the playoffs anyway. So why not, throw Lance out there and see what he can do?
Right.
So it's a tough spot.
And
go ahead, Moon.
Whether it's Lance or whether it's like Jordan Love, I mean, that window with that 5th-year option, you for the amount of money these guys are getting today, you better damn know everything good, bad, and ugly about them, by the time you're giving them that 5th-year bonus, because, that's the other thing about when will they move off of Love and Lance,
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree. It's
well, and it sounds like
find out what you have.
I mean, of course, we don't know. We can't predict what the hell is going to happen here, but if all signs are pointing towards Rodgers leaving Green Bay, so the Jordan Love time is probably upon us. And I mean, I think that's kind of the mindset of Green Bay too. Is as soon as Rodgers is gone, it's Jordan Love's time to, let's see what you got. And they might have a year where he takes some lumps, but again, time will tell with that. And I think we're in the same boat with Trey Lance. Is of course Love's what 1 year before Lance, right?
Year or two, I don't remember now.
Yeah.
He's young still. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It'll be go ahead.
I think especially I think that Lance move was pressured by the Rams going out to get a Stafford. You're looking at Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and now Matthew Stafford in the division. You got to have somebody. The Chiefs Bills game showed us. You got to have somebody who can run around and sling the damn football. Jimmy Garoppolo, he could do that a little bit. He gets a little too much hate for not being able to throw it, but he wouldn't have done. The Chiefs Bills game, that would have been over. He couldn't have done what Allen or Mahomes did. He could have maybe squirreled back in like Brady did, but that's on a good week. It's not an often thing. So, you got to get that guy of the future. Jimmy's, while he's not bad, that defense and the rest of the team has to play well around him. And that's the pressure of the move. That and he can't stay healthy, which still banged up thumb, banged up shoulder.
Yeah.
It's just a tough spot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, to give him a little bit of credit, he is playing through some shit right now where it doesn't seem, at least it's not broadcasted, that any other, the other quarterbacks in the remaining are seemingly healthy. So that's a credit to Jimmy for being able to still at least tough it out and play through that. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be two really good games this weekend. I'm definitely looking forward to both.
I think so.
And of course, next week we'll be back at the same time in the same place, and we'll have two remaining. Whether it's one of you two, and between Miles and Jen, one of them, and we'll go through it all over again.
Yep.
Probably talking about the same scenarios, same everything. Interesting though, the Rams have the opportunity to play. We'll call it a home game. I hesitate to call any Rams game a home game when they play at SoFi because you never fucking know how many fans the other team's going to show up. But if I'm not mistaken, it never happened in history that a playoff or a team hosted a Super Bowl in their home stadium until last year. Is that correct, right? Wasn't the Bucks the first team to do it, and it happened last year, and now we have a potential for it happening 2 years in a row, which is pretty crazy. But all right. I think that wraps us up. You guys have anything else you want to note before we close this show down?
No.
All right.
Nope.
I want to just see some good games like I did last weekend.
Yeah, same here.
Absolutely.
Same here. And if they're tight, the Dogs were the pick last week. That was, taking the points paid off. You'd go 3-1. Buffalo being the only team.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
I'd rather lose by 3 touchdowns and 3 points. All right.
That was a common.
Amen, Moon.
With some of the Bills fans who I did speak briefly with, because I was pretty much a mute on the game most of the week, but a lot of the fans who I did talk to through texting or saw in person at work or whatever, they all kind of said the same thing. Like they almost would have just wished the Chiefs would have just beat the shit out of them.
My heart can't take a fourth one in a row. I can't do it. One way or the other, either the Niners or the Rams.
I'm gonna be getting stints here pretty soon. I'm pretty sure if those playoff bullshit keeps happening.
I can't do it.
All right, gonna wrap it up. My Hive is presented by Blue Line Auto. For all your automotive needs, call Blue Line Auto at 814-230-9061 or stop in 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. Want to thank the rest of the sponsors. Napoli's Pizza. Make sure you get on the page, get in on the party pack, have a chance to win a Super Bowl party. Well, food for your Super Bowl party: 2 pies, 20 wings, which we estimate costs around $500 for 20 wings, and a 6-pack. So super generous, and Napoli's can't thank them enough for doing that. Jones Pest Control, your daily local mean sales and service. The Me, Myself, and Ride podcast. Thank all of you for being with us, as we head towards the end of season 1 of this show. I think that's everything. Thanked everybody. Thank you, listeners. Thanks for everybody in the comments. Appreciate you guys. Till next time, take care.